In the past few days, I have downloaded like 200 mods, making my total mods in this game to be over 300 in preparation for the showcase, but I saw a few that I just have to work with. We've got a few here like the semi-trucks, we've got golf carts and mini-trucks, but there's one thing that stands out above the rest. It's the giant vans. Let's see what we can do with one of these. Now the chassis of this van is going to be, I don't know, I mean we'll do semi-realistic I guess. Steel, ladder frame, steel, and it'll be a longitudinal engine as well. Probably going to be leaf springs on both, I would assume. And engine-wise, now I'm debating on what I'm going to do with this. What I think we'll probably end up doing is swapping in a previous engine that I made. It's actually somewhere in here. Oh yikes, I have a lot of engines. Oh no, I didn't realize it was going to be this hard to find it. There it is, Tiny Toe Lad. It is an inline 4. Why don't we swap that in into this beast of a van? So the gist of that engine is, actually let's take a look at it so you can see what I'm talking about. It's forged steel, heavy duty forged, but it only has about 200 horsepower. The reason is because it is very torque focused. I actually made this on stream for the Tree Turbo, the new edition of it that I made. Yeah, so you can see here, it's only 2800 RPM max, and it's got 190 horsepower, so it's meant for torque, but it's a small i4 turbo. I think it's going to be perfect for this van. And there's what it looks like. Oh my goodness, it's massive. It's a little bit bigger than I thought it was, but this is going to be really fun. Alright, it should probably be a steel color. I think that would make the most sense. We'll just paint it steel. I don't know about this. It'll just be steel overall. It doesn't need to be fancy. And black trim works for me as well. That should be fine. And the rims being steel works, and misc as well. You're not going to have any of these, so let's see what we can do when it comes to fixtures. Again, I have a trillion fixtures now that I have so many mods. Oh no, this is going to be fun. Okay, the problem with this van being so freakishly huge is that any fixture just doesn't really fit on it well. I've just kind of attempted to put this chrome piece on there, and it works out okay, but we're going to have to do some adjustment. It has a similar issue to the Rhino, where the front area here is just totally open, and it's kind of odd. I guess they just want better approach angle? I don't know. So stylistically, this doesn't need to be crazy. It's not going to have any vents. It's not going to have anything too intense. We'll probably just put the most basic lights on it that we can. I think this will probably be one of the more simple builds that I've done, which is a good thing. I try to make these Tuesday videos a bit shorter, but oftentimes it doesn't work. And we need a big grill on there as well. The engine definitely needs some sort of cooling. Also, we'll put it... Oh no. Okay, I forgot how many grill mods there are. But the engine definitely needs some sort of intercooler on there as well. We do have these like nice default truck grills, but again, it just has to be massive. Okay, I kind of like this one. Definitely not going to stick with chrome. I like pretty much everything in here is going to be plasticky. It just makes more sense for the van. I just noticed that these are a little too low. There we go, that works out perfect. Now we just need some turn signals. There aren't going to be any crazy design tricks on this one, but I'm definitely going to put a trailer hitch on it. Don't let me forget about that one. Oh man, these turn signals. Okay, that's a little too old for this. Alright, so we have little indicators over here, and we're definitely going to need a few more of these on the side of it, just because it's so long. That just makes sense. We'll put a few of them just down the way here, so there's at least some definition on there. There we go. Oh, you know what we can do with this? We need big sponsorship graphics, because this needs to be a delivery van of some kind. Yeah, that's going to be nice. Oh, and we need to do the back as well. Okay, we're getting there, slowly. I just realized that I didn't even try to modify the body at all, but I kind of just like the way it is right now. It seems to be pretty much where it should be. You can shrink it significantly, but why would you do that when you can have it this long? Alright, it needs a nice set of fridge door handles on the side of it. That works out just about right. Oh yeah, it needs mirrors as well. Can't forget about mirrors. It's not going to have too much detail, but it should have at least the basics. Oh yeah, that works out perfectly actually. That's even in the right place. Nice. I know that they're semi-mirrors, but they work. Let's try for a little bit extra detail. I want to put some windshield wipers on this one. If they'll ever load, that is. Oh boy. Having a big mod library sounds good. Alright, just some nice windshield wipers right there. That should wipe the window clean. I wanted to try and put them in the center, but they just don't work out that way, so that'll work out. We could also put them from the top, but yeah, that'd probably be better. Overall, though, it's going to be fine. Alright, it's pretty simplistic. It has not taken me very long to get to this point, I will admit. But I think it's time that we moved on to the back, and then we'll get to some graphics. Alright, we need exhaust, because currently the exhaust just flies out the back like that. Probably just going to end up being this, I would think. I guess that makes sense. All it needs to be is just a thing on the side. Doesn't need to be fancy. And it works. Oh, it sticks out a lot though. Okay, never mind. Alright, I ended up just going with a basic one. Just because it fits more flush with the rest of the van. It's just a single tip, so we're just going to put it actually maybe a bit farther back. Right about there. That'll work. Okay, rear bumper is important. We do have quite a few options here. Basically, my plan is to take anything. Okay, not that thing, but take something like this and then just make it not chrome. That's what I've been doing so far. Just kind of like that, and then, well, there you go. You got a rear bumper. And before I forget, because I know I am going to forget, we have to put a tow hook on there. Oh, we have a winch as well now. Not going to need that for this build, but in the future for sure. There we go. Oh boy, this will be our new tow rig and motorhome at the same time. So I picked up some super basic tail lights, but one thing that we definitely need to sort of replicate is the top lights on most of these vehicles. Basically, I'm just going to take these and shrink them, and then we'll have turn signals all the way up at the top, just like this. It kind of looks like a normal van now. Almost. There we go. That's a much needed little piece of detail, and those are the rear lights I'll be going with. Just nice and simple. Now we need some sort of latch on the bottom here. Okay, I've hatched a plan. What if we put this as a handle? Now obviously we get rid of the chrome, because chrome is definitely not allowed on this. Oh, actually, hold on a minute. That could function well as a bumper. If we get rid of this, we drag this down and just widen it out a bit. There we go. Now we actually have a step bumper. It maybe looks a bit too modern, but it kind of works. Alright, there's the handle right there. I knew there was one around here somewhere that fit the description I was going for, and this happens to be it. It's basically just a handle. Doesn't need to be anything crazier than that. So, nice and simply, we need a fuel cap. Now, this would definitely be diesel in real life, but obviously diesel engines are not a thing in this game, so we just have to pretend. But we'll do a dual tank, just for the fun of that extra bit of detail on there. Alright, I think the basic van is done. It doesn't need to be anything crazier than this. I keep saying crazier, but it doesn't need to be anything more fancy than this. Now, what we can do, and what we absolutely should do, is put some sponsorships on here. I know somewhere here I've got decals, like a lot of decals. I just need to find them. Oh, we've got danger signs. Oh, that's perfect. Maybe we can put a radioactive sign on the back. Drive this thing to Area 51. Unfortunately, the resolution on these is pretty low, so I don't think I'm going to use them, but neat idea. Okay, here we go. I've got all of the decals here. Now we need a brand that can sponsor this vehicle. We have all of the ones that I had before, plus the additions, so we can make this a... Quantum Tyre truck? We could do that. Falcon, Dunlap. I don't know. So many options. Oh boy, this is going to be really low res, isn't it? Oh no, what have we done? It's huge, but it's not working. It just disappeared. That's not a good sign. So it seems like after you make these big, at least big enough, they just kind of disappear into the actual vehicle. Which is weird. So we might have to just go with this instead, just a door mural. That might be the only way. CWS van? That works for me. I actually really like the quantum tire symbol, so I'm going to go with that. And then we'll put one on the other side as well. So it shall hereby be named the Quantum Tyre Van. I can't think of anything better. Oh, it works on the back. Oh, you can make it massive on the back. Oh, that's weird. Okay, I guess it's just the sides of it don't want to accept the massive symbol, but that's fine. And we should put license plates on here too. Okay, there are a few options once again. How about New York plates? That'll work. There we go, just like that. Slap a, whoops, put a New York plate on there. Alright, it seems like the Quantum Tyre van is done. It's a pretty simple build, and I definitely kind of skipped the engine building just by swapping in something oh, there's the symbol right there. It's inside of it. Hold on a minute. Does realigning it actually do anything? Okay, never mind. I guess it doesn't. Ah, it's so weird. So if you make the symbols huge on the sides, they'll just go inside of it. So this build is pretty simple. It's not anything crazy. I didn't even make the actual engine. All I did was just take one from a previous vehicle, so it's pretty simple. I've already gone ahead and done a bit of the drivetrain. I've got rear-wheel drive, auto, 4-speed. I just put it up to the estimated top speed. Don't know if it's actually going to hit that or not. Spacing is currently at 60 just for a test. And let's go on to brakes. Actually, wheels and then brake. Let's do radials. Let's do hard, long life. Wheel size, probably going to be big. Now, one thing that is always a concern with these larger and definitely going to be heavier vehicles is... Oh, we need to shrink the rims for sure. I don't know if this is actually going to work in Beam or not, because it might not. Sometimes they just don't. But we'll go ahead and put 17s on it with much larger wheel size. Actually, let's make it 18s, just for looks. So that hopefully will help it. Now, brakes. It's probably going to weigh a lot. Just... Ooh. That's not great, is it? Let's try... solid discs in the front. I'm going to do 6 pistons all the way around. I'm going to make them full size for now, and we'll come back and change that. No under tray, no cooling flaps, brake airflow probably up a bit. I'm concerned that this is going to turn into the Rhino 2.0, but yeah, we'll see what happens. If it actually does work in Beam, it's going to be really fun. Seats, bench seat, and in basic interior, basic cassette. I'm going to start doing actual interiors now. We'll give it ABS and no safety at all. So standard springs, twin tube, passive, and utility preset. That I don't want it to be too soft. Oh, it doesn't weigh that much. It only weighs 2,700 kilos. Yikes, I thought it was going to be really heavy. But I guess whoever modded this did not consider the largeness of it, or they're just like having it be a regular size van. But even then, that's not much in terms of weight. Well, it kind of messes things up a little bit because I was hoping it would contend with the Rhino and then we could have a very odd showdown of some kind, but yeah, we'll see. Okay, let's go back to the brakes. Make sure that things are not too crazy. We don't need these crazy brakes anymore. We can lower that down. Oh, actually, maybe we do. The rear brakes don't need to be as much as they were. However, the fronts probably do. There we go. That works out perfect. Let's go back to the gearing. So 19.4 seconds. It's really slow. Alright, I've upped the spacing considerably. We have basically no wheel spin, which is very nice. Braking is fine. Steering, okay. Oh yeah, we haven't gone to check out the steering yet, have we? Aerodynamics, we just have none, so it doesn't matter. I think we're going to be okay with this. Drivability-wise, not too concerned. It's not going to drive well, it's so huge, but overall it should be fine. Hopefully it works in Beam, that's the main thing. A lot of these massive vehicles won't export correctly, so crossing my fingers, let's see what this thing will do. So good news, everybody. The Quantum Tyre van actually does work in Beam, and it works pretty well. So just so you're aware of how big it actually is, here is the original Rhino. If we just line things up here, just like this, it's longer than the Rhino by a decent amount. And when it comes to width, it's probably just a little bit thinner. We can test that really quick here. Yeah, it's a bit more narrow than the Rhino, but even though I would think that it would weigh just as much, it doesn't, unfortunately. However, it does have some pretty interesting driving characteristics. Seeing as the engine only maxes out at 2800 RPM and it is much more tuned for torque, still being an i4 turbo, it's a small engine, but it can propel this thing to, I mean, a decent extent. It's not particularly fast. I don't think you would expect it to be too fast, but it works. Like, it works pretty well. I'd be interested to see what it would do around a track, though. It's so long, like, it's just way too long to be anything practical. However, it does do a pretty good drift. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn the usual trailer full of hay that I like to spawn just to test out how vehicles can pull things, and we will see what the van can do with that. Yeah, it's the heaviest trailer that you can get, just that I know of that you can pull with a regular hitch. One thing that I was thinking about was those semi-trucks. Oh, whoops. It would be really cool to be able to test the fifth wheel trailers with them, but I don't know of a way to set up a fifth wheel hitch on an automation car. If you do, let me know. Alright, these hitchings are very finicky. Let's go ahead and just restart the trailer real quick. And that was a mistake. Alright, we're hooked up. The trailer is just a little bit longer than the actual van itself. I'm interested to see how well it's going to do with this. It's not got much power, but the torque is pretty decent. Ooh, so we're spinning one of the wheels. I mean, it's an open diff. But when you get traction, it does move. Not particularly quick. We have cut our top speed down quite significantly. Being such a long vehicle and then towing something that is also quite long isn't exactly great, but I can see this as being manageable. It definitely, like, you definitely notice the trailer behind you, but it's a manageable thing. However, you would not be able to take it on any road that's more than 60 kilometers an hour, and even then, you'd be pushing it. So the reason for pulling this hay trailer out here, and we'll be setting something else up in a second, I want to test the destructibility of a model like this. I want to see if the actual van part at the back can be destroyed. So we're going to try and ram it into the hay trailer and see what it looks like afterwards. Ooh, unless I end up rolling it. In which case we will maybe try something else. I really should have put more power into this. My goodness, it's slow. But not everything can be fast, so sometimes it's good to have things that are a little bit slower. Alright, sick drift right there, and just back into this wall. And then we're going to set up an obstacle to, let's say, smash this into. Alright, so we have our destroyed hay trailer here. What I'm going to do, though, is just swap it out for something else. You see, Beam has props, and I don't use these props very often, but there's one in particular that I really want to try out. Let's just see what we can do against a brick wall. This is going to be fun. Alright, so the target is somewhat in my sights here. Just got to make the long journey over there. Now the reason that I'm doing it from all the way over here is because that way we can theoretically pick up some speed, but again, that is theoretically. I can see the brick wall over there. It has come into the render distance. Okay, this is a little bit bumpy, but we should be able to hit. Okay, 100 is good. Come on, van. What else you got in there? We need to do more than 100. Okay, there we go. And yikes. Okay, that brick wall stopped it a little bit harder than I thought it would. Well, the destruction is definitely there. You can see that the side of the van has been dented, and the other side there has been dented as well, so that's pretty cool. But I've got one final test for this van before we wrap it up for today, and maybe we'll try it out on a track at some point as well, just to see where it's at. Oh yeah, there's no escaping the inevitable. It is time to see what the Rhino R does to this thing. It did not live up to the Rhino's standards of weight, and so it shall live up to its... Whoa! Okay, so the Rhino R barely felt that, but I think the van might have been broken in half. Things are not looking too good over here. Goodness. Well, I'm very glad that I did that. That was a lot of fun. We have turned the van into an acute angle, and it turns out that the sides of it are quite destructible, which is great. You could probably, I mean, you could theoretically take out the back and still drive the van as is. I mean, the engine is still going. Anyway, that's it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed something just a little bit shorter than usual. I've been trying to make the Tuesday videos under 20 minutes, and it just isn't working, so that's where this comes in. Just trying to keep things organized, we'll say. So longer videos Friday, shorter videos Tuesday. So yeah, look forward to more weird builds like this one. Try to do I'll try to do more serious things on Fridays, but that's what Tuesday is all about here. We're just messing around. And I just want to thank those who have chosen to support the channel with the join button. Your support goes a long way. All of the money from this is going to the channel directly, so thank you. Will, Canadian Steel, Slow Fried Chicken 69, and Boris Ramirez, thank you again. So yeah, that's it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you again later this week.